There is something very simple that you can do to increase your book sales, and that is to create A+ content. Let me show you. Hello home bosses, my name is Nuria from thehomeboss.com. Welcome to my channel, which is all about helping you to make money online. And I talk a lot about low content book publishing, but this is something that any book publisher, whether it's low content or fiction or non-fiction, whatever you want to publish, this is something that can really increase your book sales, and it's not that difficult to do. And we're talking about the A+ content. And the reason A+ content is so helpful and important is because the look inside feature doesn't work on mobile, so people can't see what your book looks like on the inside. And also Amazon has said that they are not going to show the look inside for low content books either. So it's always a good idea if you can show your buyer what your book looks like on the inside. It just looks so much more professional. If you have a look at booksellers on Amazon, the ones that have A+ content definitely get more sales than the ones that don't have A+ content. The whole site looks more professional when they have A+ content. And that is what it's all about. It's about showing your buyer what your book is all about and how it can help them and why they should buy it. So make sure that your A+ content is really attractive to the buyer and shows your book off in the best light. And I know that some of you have been doing a really great job in adding A+ content to your listings, but some of you are still a little bit unsure. So I thought for those of you who want to see how you can actually make your A+ content, I made a few videos. Hopefully I can wrap it up in 2 videos, but if not, we'll make 3 videos about it. So this is the first video in a series, and I'm going to show you how you make the modules for your A+ content very easily in Canva. Let's take a look and see how it's done. So today I want to show you how you can make A+ content in Canva, and where you can find the sizes and set up your Canva templates so that you can create your A+ content. It's actually quite easy. I'll show you how to do it. You go onto your Kindle Direct Publishing dashboard and you go up here on the marketing tab, so click on that. That will take you to this page where you can scroll down and you will find your A+ content. Then you have to choose what marketplace you want to publish your A+ content on. I would choose the .com to begin with, and then you just click Manage A+ content. You get onto the page where you have all your A+ content details, and you click on Start creating A+ content at the top right corner. Just ignore everything else on this page for now and just click Add Module. And these are all the modules for your A+ content. What that means is these are all the designs, and you can find the sizes that you need here so that you can make these designs in Canva. And there are certain ones that I keep using all the time because they're just the easiest ones to use. And the ones I use a lot is this standard image header with text. This is one that I use very often. And the other one that I use a lot is this one here. And I will talk about this one in more detail because this is a comparison chart, but we can use this to have all your books linked under your A+ content so that when people click on the different books, it takes them to your book page. And I think this is so important and will help you so much with your book sales. It's always a good idea to cross-promote all of your books wherever you can. So let's just start with the easy part, and that is to find the measurements for one of these modules. So I use this module quite a lot, and I click on this, and then it tells me what the size has to be. So the size has to be 970 by 600. So now we know this, we can go on to Canva and we can type this into our create a design, type in the size 970 by 600 pixels and click create new design. Now we have the size for our module. And what I like to do now is I like to get a little bit of inspiration on Amazon. What do other people do for their A+ content? So today I want to show you how I do my A+ content for one of my children's books. So let's have a look at some other children's books and see what they do. So I've clicked on this one, which is Tree Full of Wonder. Let's see how they make their A+ content. So this is the A+ content. It says from the publisher, and they have created exactly the module that I was talking about. This is the module size that we want to use as well. And you can see why I like this module, because it gives you plenty of space to add images, to add text. You can even add several images in here if you design it like that in Canva. And what this author has done is they've got a page from the inside of their book, and then they have text explaining what it is about. And it says it's a vibrant, rhyming, educational and unique picture book. And then there's another module, the same size module, teaching children how to connect with love. So they just used the same modules, one under the other, and just added text to some of their images. And I think that's really good, because it tells you about their book, tells you what you need to know, you know what you're going to get when you buy this book. So A+ content is really good for the buyers to get to know what's in your book and find out more about it. And then she's done this, which is other books by Anna Smithers, and she has added her other books, and this is really good. Like I said before, if you can cross-promote your books in your A+ content, then that is even better. What I think they could have done better here is they could have used the module where you can click on the images and it takes you to the site, to the book sales page. But I'll show you how to do that in a little while. So we're getting a bit of inspiration from these A+ contents, and we know what we can do. This is very easy to recreate. Let's see what other people have done. This one is called The Huggosaurus, and it's a nice little children's book. So let's see what they've done with their A+ content. So they have also used one of the bigger modules. I think this is probably the same module, but because it's got white in the background, it doesn't look like a whole solid module. It could be a different one. I could be wrong, but this looks to me, it could be a different one, because you can actually hover over these images. So it's a different kind of module, which is interesting as well, because this way you can add different details on the same module. I think this would be probably a bit more difficult to do if you haven't done your A+ content before. So start with the easiest way to do it, which is just the plain module that I showed you earlier. And then here, this is another module that I've used as well, where you can have 3 different images and then add text. And these are very good to show your interior pages of your book. And then we've got another smaller module. So again, it gives you a little bit more information about your book. And that is what A+ content is all about. It's about telling the buyer what they're going to find in your book and what your book is going to do for them, how it's going to help them. Another one is this one, Baby Lion Finds His Roar. So let's see how they've done their A+ content. This is the module for your, I think this is the like a logo type module, so it's smaller. I like to use this one if I am showcasing my brand logo or something like that. But here they've used the same module that I was talking to you about, the same size. You can see how easy this one is, because you can just fill it with whatever information you want on Canva. And then they've used this module again, and they've added text on one half and a picture on the other. And again, they're telling you what they can find inside the book. And they've also added some text here underneath. And what I really like about this one is they have added the module where you can click on the different books. It gives you some details down here. And if you've got several books that you want to showcase, you can all add them here so that your buyers can see not only this book, but they can see all your other books. And then when they click on them, it takes them to the page where they can see your other book. So that's what the different modules are. So let's go back and design a module for our book. So now we've got this big module. What can we do with this? Well, we can make a mock-up of our book, or we can just use an interior page, or we can use the cover. There are so many things. All you need to bear in mind is that you want to show the buyer what your book is all about. So put as much detail as you can inside it. One nice thing you can do is you can go on sites like Placeit. It's called placeit.net, and you can find free book mockups. It's a little bit difficult sometimes to find the right one, because if you've got, for example, you've got a square book, you would have to find a square mock-up for the book. So the mock-up has to be the exact same size as your book. So if your book has got a very thin spine, you can't use this mock-up, for example, because the spine is quite thick. So it's sometimes a little bit difficult to find the right kind of mock-up. And as you know, I've got a mock-up template generator. I will leave the link below this video, which you can use if you want. It's not free, but that is one way to make mockups. But actually the easiest way to make mockups is the way that I'm going to show you now. So let's go back onto Canva, and for example, we're just going to choose a nice background color, and then we want to show our book cover. So let me just find the book cover that I want. So this is the book cover that I created, so I can just cut it in half, and that way it's my cover. And you could put a shadow underneath if you wanted to. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some text. So I think I'm going to add some interior pages. So I've got all my interior images in a folder, and I'm just going to add a few just to let people know what's inside the book. And you could very simply just add them like that, but you could also make them look a little bit like a book. And the way to do that is to put them together like this and maybe add a shadow. For that, we can go on Elements. And the way we can do that is to put a shadow overlay over the book. So it's one of these. We can try and make them the size of our book. And then you just have to lay the shadow in the middle. You just have to place the shadow to the spine of the book, and then you do the same again for the page here. And you could leave it like that. It already looks a little bit like a book, but you could also duplicate this and then flip it so that the shadow shows on the inside of the book, on the spine, and you just place it over that one. So I'm not sure. Do you think that looks like a book now? Maybe if I overlap the shadow a little bit to create a spine, that's slightly better. You could have it like this, or you can have it like this, and it gives the impression of a book. And you can also change the transparency of the shadow just to make it less dark if you want to. So you can play with all of this and make it look more like a book. And like I said, I've also got a mock-up generator where you can just drag and drop your images inside the book mock-up to show the interior pages. But like I said, you don't really need it. All you have to do is just put some of your interior pages on the module, and just to let the buyer know what they're getting with their book. And let's create another one just to have something different. And this time I'm going to show you how you would do that with a mock-up, for example. So I've created a mock-up in Placeit. I do have the pro subscription for Placeit, so this is why I was able to find a square book that was the size of my book. So this is quite nice. And then we can have some text here, or we can have another picture if it fits. So we could have a module like this, for example, just showing the book covers and children using the book. So that would be quite a nice image to have. But what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just have a little bit more text to explain what the book is about. And what I've done is I just copied the description for the book, and I put it here as well. Sometimes people just don't read the descriptions, but if they can see it on the A+ content, there is more of a chance that they'll read it. And I'm just going to play with this text and change the colors a little bit. So I think I'm happy with that. Maybe I'll add a little Monty character here. So I think this module looks okay like that. And like I said, you can do whatever you like, play about with it and see what looks good. Choose what you want to say in your module to let your buyer know what your book is all about. So now we've got 2 modules like that, and the third one is going to be the one where you can actually click on the books and it takes you to their book page. So what did you think? It's not that difficult in Canva. It's actually very easy in Canva rather than any other software. So it's ideal for that. And I think that once you have made one of those modules, you can then see how you can make the other ones. It's all about choosing the right size for your module, and then you just decide and you design what you want your A+ content to look like for your buyer. And the great thing is you can put text in it, you can put images in it. So there's a lot that you can do with A+ content. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how you create the module that shows the comparison chart. And this is particularly good if you've got books in a series, or you've got the same type of books and you want to show all of them. Once your customer lands on your sales page, you want to show your other books, you want to cross-promote your books, and that is a perfect module to do that, and I'll show you that in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.